And to you, good day.
I have so much love for you.
Our unconditional love to you as well, and all of you.
Thank you. You have been my teacher in the past 5 years of my life, ever since I felt like I woke up in a different reality and my perception changed.
Oh, all right.
You were by my side and all the sessions, so thank you so much. What you do, what Darryl and the whole crew does through all these years.
All right.
It's amazing to be here.
Thank you for applying the information to your own life and making a difference for yourself, because you're the one that has to do it. We can talk all day long, and if you don't apply the information, it will have no effect. Not that it must, because we do this and share all these ideas with you because it's our passion. None of you have to believe it. We would do it anyway, because our passion is not conditional on whether you do with it what we do with it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I have a statement that is connected to 3 questions that I have.
All right.
The first one is when I feel, ever since I know you and I know your teachings, I feel like I communicate with you in different ways.
You communicate with your higher mind using my vibration as a permission slip to make it easier for you to do so.
Oh, great. Thank you. You absolutely anticipated my question, which was when I am in moments that I need an answer or I need clarity for certain situations.
Yes.
And I ask you, or I try to connect with
Yes.
you to ask that question, I get an answer which is very
Yes.
much similar to your teachings are.
Exactly. It comes from your higher mind because that's the vibration frequency you operate on to connect with your higher mind. You see, this is what we're doing. We are functioning as a mask, getting you familiar with the vibration of your own higher mind in a specific way, along a specific frequency line. And so when you get used to asking us questions, we are in essence tricking you into getting answers from your own higher mind by thinking that it's us.
That's amazing confirmation, because I was pondering, is it Bashar, is it my higher mind, what it is playing?
Well, now you know.
I know, thank you. And in all this journey, and kind of digging deeper, knowing myself and, applying all the teachings
Yes.
and transforming in a way, the way of perceiving this reality.
Yes.
I feel personally that I am ready to jump or make a change.
You're always making a change. What kind of change are you talking about?
In terms of what I do in my everyday career,
All right, well,
my
what would
work.
you rather be doing?
And I'd love to have a little bit more clarity from you, because I feel myself, I'm so spread in different ideas, and I feel very creative. I feel very passionate about...
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Just answer yes or no as quickly as you can. All right?
Yes.
Do you believe that your passion can support you? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Then is there anything that is making you hesitate to go in that direction?
The hesitation is I have so many, and...
So many what?
desires and passions, and I'm
Can you act equally on all of them?
on at least 2 of them.
If you can act equally on 2 of them and they contain a similar amount of passion, why not flip a coin? Why not? Because I'll tell you how it'll work. You will either reveal to yourself that one might actually be more representative than the other of your passion by flipping the coin and saying, all right, well, heads, I'll do A, tails, I'll do B. And then you flip the coin and it's tails and you go, oh, darn, I wish it had been A. Oh, I wish it had been A. Now you've clarified which one is actually more exciting. Or, if it really doesn't matter, this is where the organizing principle of synchronicity comes in. Because if it doesn't really matter which one you choose, then choose either randomly. It won't matter. Because if that isn't the path of least resistance for you at that moment, synchronicity will take you, pick you up, and turn you around to the other path automatically. Because it's the organizing principle. So if you can't tell the difference, it doesn't matter which way you start, synchronicity will guide you in the proper direction, whether it to be to continue or to turn around and go in the other direction. Synchronicity will be your guide.
Such a fascinating mechanism when you realize how that works. It's fantastic.
This is why we say it's so important to understand how reality works. That's why we remind you that all of these ideas we are sharing with you is not a philosophy. It's actually a description of how existence is structured, of how it actually functions. We are literally giving you an instruction manual for how reality works. Absolutely no different than being given an instruction manual to understand how to operate a piece of machinery. If you follow the instructions in the manual, the machine will operate to your benefit as advertised. If you throw the manual away or ignore the instructions, you might injure yourself, or the machine will not operate in the way that might be to your advantage. So if you understand that acting on your highest passion to the best you can, with no insistence on the outcome, activates all the tools in the kit, and it's a complete kit, leaves nothing out, will completely support you and open and function automatically, and then you remain in a positive state no matter what happens, knowing that it must be there for a positive reason to serve you somehow, you have the entire instruction manual. We can spend hours and days delineating the details of each of the instructions, which is what we've done for 35 of your years, but there are no more instructions in the manual. That's the entire instruction manual. It's that simple. So when you really understand it as an instruction manual, if you really understand it as a literal description of how existence is structured, how nature works, how your reality is built, all you have to do is follow the instructions, and it will work in your advantage as opposed to your disadvantage. Because remember, synchronicity can be positive or negative. Synchronicity never stops. It's not just synchronicity when something you like happens. Because if you are operating from a negative energy, you will get negative synchronicity to reinforce the negative experience. It never stops working. But when you use the instruction manual, it will work to your advantage, not to your disadvantage. Does that make sense?
Makes absolutely sense. And it's so funny how the obvious things, the easy things, are hard to understand sometimes.
That is the paradox of your reality, is that it really is far simpler than you think. Because you've been taught to believe that if it's not a struggle, it's not worthwhile. Yes, of course you will have challenges. Yes, of course you will do things physically and you will work. But also, as you say on your planet, a labor of love is no labor at all. By being in the moment and doing what you love, you will have the driving force. You will have the energy. You will have the passion to face the challenges, to do the work that needs to be done physically. But it will all be fun. That's the point. It will all flow. You will go with your flow. All of you have a current in creation. Don't resist it. Your current knows where you need to go. That's why you say go with the flow. It's your flow. Surrender is not surrendering control. Surrender is surrendering to the control that's already built into you, so that your physical mind doesn't have to work so hard to arrange all the pieces to make this happen and make that happen, or something will be wrong. It's looking at the big picture, and when looking at the big picture and staying in that state and going with the flow, you then see that the energy flows naturally together and all the pieces flow together and click in synchronicity. That's how it works. Yeah. So realize, yes, it is simpler than you think, and anything you experience as overwhelming, frustrating, resistance, or difficult is simply the product of a belief system you've bought into, and it doesn't have to be that way. Does that help?
It does. I have a very last question.
Yes.
In light of living the full potential as a human in this dimension, I have two very dear people in my life. One is a friend of mine that is named Rudy,
yes,
and another one is my dear brother. He lives in Europe, where my family is. My question is, do you have any help, any hint, any advice for each of them?
I just gave
They are
it to you.
searching.